All right. So the story I was going to bring up, obviously, we can trust the CCP that the coronavirus definitely came from bats. And then we were told to be afraid of monkeypox. And now even the CDC is saying, yeah, probably just cover yourself in Band-Aids when you go to an orgy and you're good. That's like their only guidelines. So to continue the fear campaign, because again, the global warming thing is starting to fail them, they're pushing this new thing called shrew. They're not calling it shrewpox. They're calling it the Langia virus or LayV new coronavirus, which they say comes again from China, but this time it comes from shrews. So you can definitely trust that this comes from shrews and not a lab that's directly across the street from the market where they sold not bat soup that, so definitely trust them. I don't know. Like I saw this story and I'm like, are they really going to try to push a new coronavirus coming from shrews and expect this to stick with people?
I'm kind of surprised they don't say they're coming from lemmings just to see if we're all going to be stupid enough to follow that.
Now, do we really believe it came from the wet market or that it was actually like from the lab?
It definitely came from the wet market because the bat that was in hibernation 800 miles away is definitely where it came from. And not
that came from Fauci's kitchen. He said it himself. He was cooking up COVID in the kitchen.
It could possibly come from the coronavirus lab in Wuhan. That's just crazy.
Yeah. The researchers that went, completely missing after they got sick. Nothing to do with it.
The guy who broke the news over what did he send it over? Like some Google chat thing, and went missing the very next week in China. Yeah.
In 2019, China hosted for the first time ever the global military games, and they had them. And as soon as they had that, we had a bunch of people saying that they were getting really sick. And people have hypothesized that that was actually the first super spreader event, and that they dosed or tried to see what it would do first to the healthiest people who are in the military competing in these games. And then they see, okay, well, if this is what it does to the best of the best specimens of the world, here's how we can see a control group of it doesn't affect these groups, it does affect this. And then they say, okay, go. And all those people went back to their home countries and it spread like wildfire.
Yeah, so China did actually point that out, by the way. So I never really looked into it that much just because it came from the CCP. But they said that it was the American military that spread it in China originally. Is that what you're?
Well, they were accusing it was being they said it was the American military because it was our lab, but they're in Wuhan. So it's like, who's in control of it if it's all your people? But it's your money. It's your money, so you paid for it. It's your liability.
Yeah, all that stuff that Rand Paul questioned Fauci about, and then he lied under oath, and then nothing happened. Yeah, but
do you want to change your story, Dr. Fauci? Do you want to change your story? He's like, no, I do not, Senator. I'm not going to ever change my story ever. I'm going down with this. Like it was unbelievable.
Absolutely. But what I want to point out was something kind of adjacent to that. Was you can just look this stuff up. I'll show it on screen here. But Event 201 was a scenario where they tabletopped this. Here, I'll pull it up on screen while I'm talking about this. They tabletopped this thing, coronavirus. So back in 2019 or 2018 or whatever.
Whenever I play tabletop games, I never release a worldwide pandemic. So I play Risk all the time. This game take like days to finish.
Although to be fair, in middle school, I got
Risk, by the way.
In middle school, I got an iPod Touch, and one of the games you could play on that was the pandemic game, where you had to
I remember that.
Try to get a disease to spread across the world and kill as many people as possible until you won the game by killing humanity. And maybe they did that to figure out if people play it 1 billion times, they have a lot of data from that.
Well, you know what's funny about that is after there was that Android game Pandemic, and after coronavirus started, they actually changed the name of the game and changed how you played it, because that was a game was to release a pandemic and spread it all over. So yeah, but anyway, this Event 201.
There's an actual tabletop game called Pandemic too.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't played that one. I'm a big fan of Risk, though. I love that game. You're right. It's great if you just leave it out and play for days on end.
Now you have cats, though. They will destroy the board.
I absolutely slaughtered my husband at Risk one time.
I thought you were going to say your cats over there.
I was like, whoa, Abby.
She slaughtered her cats and they ruined her Risk game?
We never played.
What kind of guest did you line up tonight, PJ? I tell you.
Man.
I don't know.
I didn't watch the whole show last week. Maybe I missed a whole part of getting.
Hey, found us a real Stephen Avery over here.
I guess. So the point I wanted to make really quick, I'll make it before Abby cuts me off again with her skinning her cat story. is that they pre-gamed this event 201 of what would happen if a coronavirus came from bats and spread all over the world, and that happened right before the pandemic happened. Then there was this NTI paper, Strengthening Global Systems to Prevent Response to High Concurrence Biological Threats. You can read this right off of their website, where they tabletopped what would happen if monkeypox spread all over the world. And it actually goes on in these that's happened months ago, before the monkeypox spread started.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's why we called it when the
So-
monkey truck tipped over. This was like the second data point. We were like, well, they called it. Now there's monkeys in the wild.
These are official government websites I'm reading off of, by the way. These are not conspiracy theory websites. This is right off of nti.com or .org. And this other one is the World Economic Forum Center for Health Security.org. So I'm reading literally off of government websites right now. So the other one, the NTI paper, actually goes on to say this many people are going to be affected by monkeypox. And then a year into it, we're going to find out that it was released on purpose. That's
right.
in
That's
the
why
NTI
Bill Gates
paper.
a month
So
ago
what
was
I'm
saying, he's like,
saying-
we have to be ready for these things to be weaponized. We have to be ready for it to be a terrorist attack.
Right. So what I'm saying is now that they're showing the shrewpox thing, I'm curious, and I haven't looked into this yet. I'm curious if there's any tabletop games going on out there that there was some kind of coronavirus spread from shrews. I think that will tell us whether or not the media picks this up.
I didn't even know what a shrewd was until you showed me. I thought shrewd was just somebody that was shrewd.
Wow. This is like a Shakespearean play, only it's going to be called The Blaming of the Shrew.
Okay, but what if
Anybody?
they take this, they say a right-wing
I got your joke, by the way,
homophobic
sorry.
person
I didn't get it.
planted this monkeypox, and they blame it on the right. Say
They
we
might
did it.
try to do that. They said it was some type of, I don't remember who they said, but they said some type of terrorist organization. So maybe
Yeah,
they're
the
gonna,
Lincoln Project.
yeah, they planted it personally, very personally.
A conservative terrorist group who's responsible for monkeypox.
I forgot about the monkeys getting released. It's insane how much crazy stuff happens that you just completely forget about a couple of months later.
Yeah, that
remember
happened in Pennsylvania too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they said it was a
Yeah.
truck from New York to Pennsylvania to a lab. The truck tips over. A woman is told, "Don't touch the monkeys," and she reaches in because she thought it was a kitty, and then it jumps out and sprays her in the face.
How do you
Funny-
think
funny,
a
sir.
monkey is a kitty?
Well,
Funny
you
story
know,
about that. When that
You see a
happened,
tail. You curious?
when the monkey bit that lady in Pennsylvania, I called my dad and I said, wait for the next pandemic outbreak to be linked to this. They've never actually tried to link it to that, which is funny.
Right.
But when I saw that, I was like, the next thing is going to deal with monkeys.
Monkeys.
I mean, I was right at least halfway.
Yeah.
I don't think that it was like what from that one in particular. I think
No.
they were shipping contagious monkeys with monkeypox to all the different labs they needed it to get to under the guise of studying, because Fauci has, tens of thousands of monkeys. We found that out in the last year.
Beagles.
And beagles, yeah.
And and it's not the only thing.
Had beagles.
But
Had
then we-
beagles.
But we see
Had.
monkeypox would be a thing that would spread. It would be contagious, and it's popping up all across the world at the same time, that's why it's odd. It would be one thing if it came like a wave across the world, that would make sense. But for it to just be sporadically all popping up at the same time tells you that it's seeded.
No one
Yeah.
ever points that out. This did start supposedly at a gay orgy in Europe, but no one has ever explained where any of the people in this gay orgy in Europe, Americans that came back to America.
Was that the
'Cause-
Davos group?
Right. Yeah, right. That's my point. Is like you're right. That's spreading everywhere simultaneously. It doesn't seem like it actually organically came here from Africa to Europe, from Europe to America.
Slim Picker says the trucker was told he was hauling cats.
The monkey.
That's
Yeah.
sus.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That is sus.
Yeah.
And they did say in the news story that they were going to a lab to be studied for something. That's why when
Right.
it happened, I called my dad and I was like, just wait, there's going to be another attempted lockdown over some new virus because this monkey outbreak in Pennsylvania.
Yep, we're heading into what was that movie with the monkeys took over
Outbreak.
the world?
Planet
not
of the
that
Apes.
Yeah, Planet of the Apes.
Oh, there's that other movie with Denzel Washington called Outbreak from the 90s where a monkey
Oh.
started
I wouldn't be surprised
Pandemic.
if Fauci's part chimp.
He's part gremlin for sure.
Yeah.
Have you
no.
watched the Fauci Unmasked documentary that the Daily Wire did?
No.
I haven't watched it yet.
No, I'm reading The Real Fauci, though.
Really
That's an
good.
interesting book.
Are you
Yeah.
watching? Are you watching Fauci's documentary from Discovery?
PBS?
Gosh, no.
No, the
Saving
Fauci
the World
Unmasked-
by Dr. Fauci.
Fauci Unmasked goes into his career and how thoroughly he messed up HIV and just continuing to fail up and fail up and fail up. It's insane that this man has had such an incredible career.
Well, he
Well,
said
if
it's
you
because
wanted,
of
if
him.
you wanted to create HIV, then he didn't fail. He succeeded. If you wanted to spread it and kill a bunch of people, then he didn't fail. He succeeded. And that's why he is where he is, because they see it as success, I think. But oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Somebody
well,
else.
salty. No, Fauci said that just recently that people are going into the medical field because of him. He inspired a whole new
Fauci
wave of medical. Yeah, the Fauci effect. That's what it was.
Story pulled up right here.
He's like, if you got it, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'll pull it up while you're talking.
Tom, come on.
He tells the interviewer that people go to school now because they see me as a hero. they see me as a beacon of truth and science and hope. And so that's what he actually claims, that students from high school want to go now into the medical community because I symbolize integrity. That's what he says. It's a joke. I mean, he has to choke on these words.
You said that Fauci helped spread AIDS in the 1980s. He did say that he went to bathhouses to study it. So maybe he personally also helped spread AIDS. Now, the conspiracy, why is it always diseases that affect gay people?
Because they're the most promiscuous, and if they can get as many people to be promiscuous as possible, then it'll spread. They know that sex is the one thing that people won't deny themselves. Even during the pandemic, they were saying, I won't go to work. I won't go and feed my family. I won't even try to go to the store to get food, but I got to hook up with my Tinder date. So these people are
Tinder
retarded.
saw a huge spike during COVID. So you're exactly right, Tom.
Yeah.
These people would lock themselves down. They would say, oh, it's dangerous if I go out and do this and that and the other. I can't let my kid go to school and get an education. But I can go bang a stranger from the internet, and nobody stopped doing that. I mean, that's
what now the monkeypox is spreading, and they're telling people you got to be careful in certain areas, wear a mask, and don't go to your gay piss orgy without washing your hands after.
But that's the crazy thing. They're not telling them not to go, and you're exactly right on that. They will
that's
not
a real
deny.
thing. I know you're making a face. That's a real thing.
No,
It goes all the way back to the sex revolution back in the 60s, where they wanted to break up the nuclear family and encourage the promiscuous sex and things like that, because, it was part of this grand scheme of what we're seeing play out now. We're able to spread these things a lot easier with people being promiscuous, and they just love the idea of things like Tinder now and Grindr or whatever else is out there that people go hook up on.
That's why you have laws in California that allow for people to knowingly infect other people with HIV, and they don't have to tell them, and it's not a crime anymore. It's not considered attempted murder. And I think it's they want to, you asked the question, why is it always gay people? I think it's that if they see there are a lot of people who act in that way or behave in that way, but don't tell, the closeted, those people will take it from the community and bring it to the public, and they won't be trackable or traceable in that way. And that's provable because the FBI knows it because it's them, and the CIA knows it because it's them. And so they say they've got a wife, they've got 2 kids, they go to church, but on Friday night they were out with, someone from their phone that they can't tell their wife about. Right. That's the person they're going to get monkeypox from.